to address your question to a specific player, and also a reminder there's no video in this area. Floor is open for questions. Over here.
Nicole Arbach, USA Today. For Emil, Matt, and Luke, if you want to chime in, Jason's obviously had such a great second half of the season and month, and I'm wondering if you noticed, like, was there a turning point with him? Was it just kind of like once he got fully healthy, got in the rhythm of things, or what exactly has led to this, month that he's on right now?
I think it's just the work he's put in. And he's been doing a great job of getting up extra work with Coach Shire, working on, doing things really quickly, and, just the small things of being a really good player, because the talent is, already there. It's oozing out of him. So for our team, it was just about him being sharp. And, this last month, he's been doing an amazing job at, evolving, doing much more, things like rebounding and playing really good defense, drawing two guys and finding the open man. I think he's done a really great job, over this last month of just, like, growing up, not making, like, common freshman mistakes or something like that.
Matt?
Yeah, I think Emil answered your question.
For me, Emil said it 100% right, and I think he's just being himself. I think he's being the player that coach recruited him to be, and he's just he's all in. He's just being himself, and that's what we want him to do. We want him to continue to do that, and we have leaders on this team that have really gave him confidence to be the type of player that he can be.
Down here.
Emil, Brian McGallhorn, DevilsIllustratedRivals.com. Harry Giles gave you guys big minutes in the ACC tournament, and he talked about how he was playing more instinctively with the more minutes. How have you seen that help his game and be able to help you guys out as a whole?
Yeah, definitely. When he's not thinking about other things, making a mistake or, just out there playing, he's a really great player. He's one of the most athletic guys in the country. His second jump is unbelievable. So when he just let it all out, and that's what he did, in the ACC tournament. He just let it out. We saw a really special player. He had about 6 sequences back-to-back in that UNC game that changed the game for us, really won the game for us, if I'm being honest. And, he's added a new dimension to our team and taken us to another level. So we have guys that can do that. We have special guys, and he's one of them. So for him to be playing this well, I'm real proud of him.
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Luke, has this year surprised you? Coming off of last year, and there was obviously all the talk about the freshmen coming in, and you've probably been the team's most consistent player. What did you do in the offseason in the summer that you think set you up for this year?
Yeah, last year was a learning curve for me. Last year I had a very inconsistent year, and my confidence wasn't there 100%. But I have guys like these two, great coaches that have built a lot of confidence in me, to be the player that coach recruited me to be. And I like I said, like you said, I've been more consistent this year than I was last year, and just for me to do whatever I can to help our team win is what I want to do most. And like I said about having great leaders with these guys and coaches to build confidence in me has been really, really, really big for me.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. This is for all the players. Guys, you probably feel like you went to the Final Four last week with the games you had to play. How much did that take out of you, and being successful like you were? Talk a little bit about the confidence you have going into the tournament now.
I think that we have ultimate confidence. As far as being tired or fatigued, I don't see that happening. But me and Emil especially, we know how it feels to lose and lose pretty early. So we just try to relate a message that, hey, it's on to the next play, and coach does a good job of doing the same. And I think we still have a hungry team, and knowing that should be good for us.
Pete Yakabelli with the Associated Press. Luke, was it difficult this year at the start? You guys came in as a preseason #1. Was it a difficult path to kind of get to where you are now? And do you feel like you're now that team that everybody thought you were going to be back in November?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been difficult when we battled so much adversity with injuries and things happening. I mean, when we started the season, we had some of our freshmen out. So it can be tough to, to build your team exactly how we are now. And, once we started getting everybody back, we've continued to develop an identity, I guess you could say. And we learned a lot from this past week, winning an ACC championship. We've developed our identity of a team, and I think we're continuing to grow. So it's been difficult. We've been on a great journey. We've hit some bumps in the road, but it's made us better as a team, made us tougher, and made us closer as a group.
Al Featherston, Access Sports. This is for Emil and Matt. You guys were part of a team that in 2014 lost in the first round, and part of a team in 2015 went all the way and won. Is there anything going into the NCAA tournament? Was there a difference, or do you see a difference in terms of attitude, confidence, momentum, anything like that?
I think, in both those, situations, the great thing is that we have the experience now. So, going into this year, we know what it feels like to do both. We know, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. So, we definitely, have momentum, from, playing well last week. And I think what we have right now is addition. We've added, and that's a great thing. We've added, Marquise, we've added Harry, playing instinctually, playing, at a high level. We've added Jason, learning more about himself and learning that he can take over games. So I think the biggest thing for our team is that we've been able to add in these last 3 or 4 weeks.
Matt, you want to add to that? Okay. Down here.
Paul Witt, Heroes Media Group. This is for all the players. But you already mentioned highs and lows, and then back to the high of last weekend. How do you keep your mind straight, especially in that low part of the season? Coach is out. You guys are struggling, injuries and such, all the adversity. Is there an unsung hero, a player maybe people just don't know about in the locker room that's keeping your mind right? Maybe another coach that's just keeping things back on track. Is there somebody behind the scenes that really just helped you as a team to keep pushing through the adversity?
Luke, you want to take that first?
Yeah. We have great coaches, and when Coach was out, our coaches were tremendous. I think they did a great job. For me, I think it honestly starts with our leadership, our seniors, our captains. They made sure we were on the right track. They made sure we stayed together. And it was tough when that happened, but we won some big games, and it all started with these guys making sure we were just on the right track, and that was good for us. And like I mentioned earlier, we've hit some bumps in the road, we've hit some adversity, and when stuff like that happens, we make sure we're together as a group, and it's made us a tougher team and even a better team.
Even though I'm flattered by what Luke said, I think for this team, it was the pain we felt that really drove us to become better, not only as players, but as people on and off the court. And I mean, pain forces you to grow. With Coach being out, with guys being injured, and just everything being so unconventional, we had to learn how to adjust. And the talent was there. It was just about putting it together. And we were able throughout the season to strengthen areas little by little to where now all those areas that we were able to strengthen are starting to come together, and that was a good thing for us now that we can look back on it. But in the process, it was definitely hard, and we had to learn from it.
Any other questions? Down here in front.
To Emil or Matt, what has just Luke meant to this team this year, and are you at all surprised at what he's done, considering the season was starting? Initially, he wasn't going to be a starter. He was admittedly inconsistent last year, and now he's obviously one of the best players in the country?
For me, I think, Luke has, been the consummate Duke player. He's emulated what it means to be immersed in us. And because of that, he's grown beautifully. It's obvious that he's been our most consistent threat, our most consistent, player. And, he's won big games for us. And, we wouldn't be in this position without him. So I think it's just a testament to all the work he put in, especially this summer. And then, just running his own race, not worrying about, whether he's going to start, how many minutes he's going to play, just being a player. And when his number was called, he was ready. And I think, he's done it beautifully.
For me, Luke's been the ultimate competitor. This year, he's shown that he can be a winner. Kind of like everything Emil says. But the consistency was the most important thing because he always had the talent. It was always there. But for him to be able to pull out something that was in him that y'all are able to see, but we always saw, whether it be in the summer or parts of last year, I'm really happy for him.
Stacy Long, Montgomery Advertiser. What have you guys noticed most about Troy?
Troy can really shoot the ball. They have a kid and Persons who's just a really dynamic shooter. And then they have a big guy in Renato who's a force down low, but who can also, spread the ball and shoot it. They have, I would say, about 6 or 7 guys, that can, knock down the long ball. So we're going to have to be really locked in. They're champions, just like us. They won their league. And they did it in a similar fashion, winning, 4 games in, I think, 5 days. So we have to be locked in because they're a really, really talented team.
Yeah, if I could ask again, a couple of games are already over. You guys will be one of the last teams to play this tournament. Is that a good thing in terms of the extra rest, or is it bad that, it's nervous waiting for the first game?
Luke, you want to take that?
I mean, playing one of the last games, I guess, it can give you more time to prepare. But at the same time, we don't want to be focused on what other teams are doing, pay attention to who's winning, who's getting beat. We're just trying to stay locked in what we're doing and prepare as a group. And we have one mission, we have one goal, and that's to win. And we got to take it one game at a time, and that's what we're looking to do.
Any other questions for the Duke student athletes?
Zach Braziller, New York Post. Luke, I read that you said this summer Grayson really helped you. Could you kind of tell me, how did he help you? Was it with your game? Was it with the mental side? He had kind of gone through with, what you were going through in terms of freshman year, not probably playing at your best, and, obviously had a great sophomore year.
Yeah, I learned a lot from Grayson, this past year. The 2 years I've been here. And I think for me, just being able to compete against him has made me a lot better. To learn from his competitive side, to talking about the little things of the game, has really helped me a lot. And just being able to go at each other in practices throughout the summer and pick up games has made me more comfortable as a player. And all the guys have built confidence in me. As a player I am, and it's just been really good for me.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want me to.
Okay. All right, now welcome Coach Mike Krzyzewski, and we're an opening comment, and then we'll take questions.
Yeah, well, we're excited to be here in Greenville. You know, the great city to host the NCAA tournament, and hopefully we'll fulfill our obligations to play some good basketball. We're in pretty good health. We have a couple kids who are a little bit under the weather, but will play, but no like sprained ankles and things like that. But after you have a week like we did last week, I think you're more prone to having some colds and all that kind of stuff because of the emotional and physical output that you had in order to win. But we're good. We're excited, ready to go.
Questions? Pete?
Pete Yakbelli, Associated Press. Mike, you know, back in Charlotte in October, you were like, yeah, we may be number one right now, but there is a long, long way to go. What kind of journey has this been for your team, and how do you think now they're playing like many people thought they would be in October?
Well, I don't know what many people thought because none of the people saw. So how could, I guess that's what predictions are. And that's why people make money, and that's why people go bankrupt by predictions. And if you did a careful analysis of each team and understood that each team has a journey, and ours was a difficult one because every guy on our team got hurt. You know, I was out. So it's not about what people thought we should be, because that really doesn't make any difference, and it wasn't based on any factual stuff that they saw. So we've just developed, and we're a good team right now. We haven't used any of that stuff as excuses. And our league, in order to survive, you have to be good. You in order to live in that neighborhood, you better become good. And it's why we have a lot of good teams. We're one of them. And thank goodness that the conference exacts that from you, and that we're healthy enough to meet that challenge.
Blaine Fahey, the Paladin. What about this year is different or needs to be different compared to years past?
For what?
In order to make it to the finals in March.
Well, each year is different. You know, you have a different team. You're not Brady and Belichick coming back, or, you know, hopefully the Cubs do it again. I'm a Cub fan. Let's see. They have most people back. We should have kept Fowler. But it's a different journey every time. And I like my team a lot. I'm proud of them. I think they've become men. And that's a good thing. So going into it, we feel we had a chance to give our best shot. We play a team, and every team that we know can beat us, and we respect that. And I think my team is mature enough to understand that. So it's what makes it interesting. That's why if you win this thing, it's a heck of a thing. And if you win it more than once, it's really a heck of a thing, because you do it with different people and in different circumstances. So I like my group a lot, and my upperclassmen, Matt and Emil, have really helped us immensely in their leadership to bring this team around.
Coach Gay, for years since the one and done got big, you've had guys like Emil and Matt, you know, play for you for 4 years. I got to cover Matt in high school. What's your take on what he's done for you over his career?
Yeah, well, he's a believer. You know, in other words, he's an extension of the coaching staff, not just on the court, but on the practice court, on a bus, and a team meal. You know, he basically has lived the standards of our program, and you know, for 4 years. In Emil's case, 5, and that helps these young guys immensely. And then they also understand, by being in so many games, they've been in games where we've gotten beat, and they've won championships, and they've won a national championship. And so they understand the process, and to be true to the process, and and to stick with it. And, you know, Matt and Emil have been so instrumental in bringing this team along. And, you know, we're really lucky to have them. I love those two guys. They, you know, we've won a lot of games together, and we've developed this team together as a result of a relationship of staff, and especially with those two kids.
Go ahead.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Coach, with everything you've been through this year, what do you think's been the big lesson this team's learned?
Well, no excuses, and try to win with what you have, and with the amount of preparation and whatever continuity you've had. You know, when I was out with from back surgery, you know, I went out and Emil got hurt, and you know, it's much more important that Emil played than I was there, and so we didn't have the continuity and the ability to prepare and get to know one another as well until February. And then you know, these last 3-4 weeks, we've, you know, Matt's been healthy. Emil and Grayson have been a little, you know, they've been hurt, but they're better, a lot better. But we've had them all there. And as a result, they've gotten to know one another better, and we've won close games. We've lost a couple close games, but again, we keep getting better.
Brett Friedlander, North State Journal.
Yeah,
Hey, Mike. As much as you've enjoyed being here in Greenville, is there any sadness that this tournament isn't being played in Greensboro where it was originally scheduled, and that it may not be back in North Carolina for quite some time?
Yeah, well, I don't want to take away from the great people of South Carolina and people in Greenville. They deserve to host a tournament, whether our state is smart enough or stupid enough not to have it. And but it shouldn't be a contest of one or the other. I mean, South Carolina is known for great basketball, and this is a great town, and so, you know, we feel really good about being here. It'd be nice if our state got as smart and also would host not just basketball tournaments, but concerts and other NCAA events. But maybe we'll get there in the next century. I don't know. We'll see.
Middle.
Hey, Mike, Kent Babb from the Washington Post.
I'm lost. Here we go.
Oh, sorry about that. What's the solution then to the previous question?
I don't want to be getting political right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Then following up one more time.
Look, it's a stupid thing. That's my political statement. If I was president or governor, I'd get rid of it. And I'd back up my promises. All right.
How disruptive?
As unusual as that might be. All right. Anyway, I don't want to get too political.
Nicole Auerbach, USA Today. Mike, what do you think's been the difference with Jason this last month? And obviously, I think he's playing as well as anyone in the country.
Well, Nicole, it's a good question, but you would have to, you know, just follow how Jason was able to prepare. You know, in the third week of October, he was really playing well, and he hurt his foot, and he's out for more than 5 weeks, missed 8 games, and even when he came back, he didn't have, because we're in exams, Christmas break or whatever, there's about a 2-month gap of the preparation that any player needs, but especially a freshman needs. And he's so good and he's so committed, and our guys are good with him, that since the beginning of January when we were able to have that, he's progressed that much. And I'm proud of him. I think he'd be playing at this level earlier, but I'm glad he's been able to achieve the level that he's playing at during this season, that he's playing college basketball.
Hey, Coach. Pete Yanity from WSPA here in Spartanburg. Kind of back to the point you were asked about before. How surreal, though, has this year been for you, because you had to stop and then start again,
right,
in terms of being in sync and, you know, being in the flow of a typical season?
Yeah, well, for me, even though I had the surgery, I was watching tape and being with the team every day, you know, maybe not physically. So I never got completely out of sync. And then I have a great staff. Jeff Capel did an amazing job while I was gone, and he's my associate head coach, and, you know, a lot of what we do is what he thinks we should do. So I like that. And but I haven't really been out of sync. The team has not had the ability to be in sync, and I've gotten well. So I'm fresh. I'm good. Been ready to go. And but for about a month and a half, they're not good.
Greg Peterson from the Paladin. What is one thing you think your team has gained from winning the ACC championship to prepare for the tournament?
Well, an ACC championship, that's the very first thing. And I say that not being, like joking. It's a tremendous honor. And, confidence comes through with achievement. And I think our confidence it was good, real good going into the tournament. It's better as a result of playing those 4 games and winning. And now we have to make sure that our confidence coincides with the ability to still prepare, not have a rearview mirror and look back at it, but to be in the moment. They were in the moment in New York and they got better. Now we have to be in the moment here against Troy.
In the front.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Coach, when you look at Luke's year, how surprising is it when you consider in the preseason there was talk that he wasn't even going to be a starter, and he admittedly had an up and down freshman year, and now he's had as good of a season as anyone in the country.
Well, you see, you go again based on listening to people who haven't seen him. Like people didn't see him in practice or whatever, and predictions and all that. We can't live in that world, and we live in a world of quick judgment and shallow analysis, and that's not how you prepare a really good team. Luke's been great since the get-go. He had a terrific freshman year. Actually, in one of our inter-squad scrimmages before Jason and Marquise got hurt, I think Luke scored 47 points. And I said, well, he might be pretty good, even though it wasn't based on factual prediction of what he might be. And so it doesn't surprise me what Luke has done. Luke's a heck of a basketball player and competitor. And because he doesn't have a position, we can use him in different parts of the court. And his efficiency is unbelievable. To put up those numbers but not take the number of shots is really good. It's really good.
How much do you confer with Steve Wojciechowski during the season, and what kind of qualities do you see in his team that maybe you see in your team as well?
Well, I wish we could shoot as well as his team. They lead the nation in shooting. You don't converse that much. I think after a big win, you text or call. After a tough loss, it's even more important to text or call. Both ways. When I was going through my surgery and that, my assistants who are now head coaches, we have a family. Steve and I are family. It's been a part of, he's probably 19, 20 years. Are you kidding me? And besides that, he's Polish, so we share an even greater bond. And he didn't change his name, and I didn't change mine. Well, the fact that they share the ball so well, and I think what Steve has done is he's taken the talent that he has and meshed it into a style that can beat you. And instead of trying to fit guys into another style that wouldn't be as successful. And a big thing for him, they play good defense, but they play even better offense. They play out. And I haven't watched them to study them yet, but that's just when I get a chance to watch them. I've studied Troy, that's all. So, I just hope we get a chance to play on Sunday.
Any other questions? Coach, thanks very much. Oh, you got one more? All right, one more.
Stacy Long, Montgomery Advertiser. What have you seen out of Troy that impresses you the most?
Yeah, well, first of all, the fact that they've won 4 games in 5 days. The Sun Belt is a really good conference historically and again this year. And, what Person's done, as far, it's unbelievable, in the tournament. And they have a team that can really score the ball. Yeah, then, almost 50%, 45% of their shots are threes. They're dangerous. And the fact that they've won makes them even more dangerous. So, we respect them, no question about it.
Coach, thanks very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Right. I mean, I don't know if that's who's coming, but that's the prediction. That's the prediction. You mean after the game or now? Yeah, I think it's open the whole time. Yeah. Yeah. We know all the NIT rules, even the strange foul rules we had this year. What's up? All right, we're ready for the press conference with the South Carolina student athletes, P.J. Dozier, Dwayne Notice, and Sindarius Thornwell. Floor is open for questions.
David Cloninger of the State. If each of you guys could tackle this one, I'm sure you didn't finish the regular season the way you wanted to, but you're here now. Have you talked about how none of that matters the last month if you just go out and play a great game tomorrow night?
That's really what we talked about is just, going out and having fun and embracing the moment. And, that's really it, forgetting about what everything that's happened in the regular season and in the SEC tournament and just going out and, playing our game and, enjoying every moment of this ride that we're going on.
Yeah, not really too concerned about the future, not too concerned about the past, but trying to focus on being the best we can be every day individually and as a team. Just trying to embrace the moment, like Sin said. It's a great experience to be out here. And, we're just trying to get better every day.
Just to piggyback what they said, those wins that we got in the past don't even really matter anymore. It's like a 0-0 record, so we just focus on getting the next win.
Yes, Joel Fitzpatrick with the Fayetteville Observer. Sin, if you can just tell me about your reaction when you're watching Selection Sunday and you find out that you're going to Greenville.
So Coach had talked to us like before it came on and stuff to the returners, and was telling us what he thought and stuff like that. And so, we always, thinking that we was about to, be like a 10th seed and be headed somewhere far. So when we got the 7th seed and playing in Greenville, we always happy that we got to stay home and stay and play in front of our fans and, and didn't have to travel so far away. And just happy, just excited and ready to play.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Sin, how many times have you heard from fans, you got to win the game? We haven't won an NCAA game in my lifetime or 44 years or whatever it is. Have you heard that a lot this week from fans?
No, nobody said we got to win a game or nobody said anything like that. Everybody, just trying to do what they can to, relieve the pressure from us. And, everybody's just been saying, just go out there and have fun and play our game. That's all we can do and control. We can control. And that's what we're focusing on is just having fun and enjoying the moment.
David Caravella, Post and Courier. Sindarius, to follow that up, were y'all even aware that this program hasn't won a tournament game since the 70s? And is that anything coaches mentioned to you guys as one of those special things you could achieve in this ride? Yeah,
we was aware, and we had Mac come talk to us. For those that know who Mac is, and Mac's been around the program longer than anybody that I know, and he came and talked to us and told us how much it mean for him, for us to just make the tournament, and how much it would mean for him for us to win that first game. It would mean so much for him and, for us, and our relationship with Mac. If we wasn't win the game tomorrow, it would really be for Mac and, just for all the work that he's done and, for all the players that played for University of South Carolina, we all have a relationship with him and how much he loves and cares for the program and the work he put in goes unnoticed. And if we win, it would really just be for Mac.
Back of the right.
Kent Babb from the Washington Post. This is for anybody willing. Because of geography and because of what the reasons that North Carolina and Duke had to come farther, do you guys feel like this is kind of a home regional since this is geographically closer than any other team?
Dwayne, you want to take that?
Yes. It does. We kind of do have that sense, that home feel. We have a lot of supporters and fans that are around the region and the area. So we want to come out there and play as well as we can because all year we've had a great home crowd. And for us to have that support behind us at this tournament would mean a lot to us. And the fact that we didn't have to travel out west, something that we thought we were going to be doing, it kind of was beneficial to us, and it kind of helps with our confidence and things like that. So it's also a good thing that we're close to home. It's huge. It's huge. Like I said, we're the type of team that we play off of our home crowd and things like that. So I know, once we get a run or things get going and we kind of hear the building erupt and just see familiar faces and things like that, I think it'll help everybody just play loose and relax and be wanting to be at the top of their game.
Hey guys, Pete Yanity from WSPA TV here in Spartanburg. Start with Sindarius and then maybe one of the others can chime in. How often during preseason practice or during the season did the heartbreak of last year and being kind of left out motivate you? Was it mentioned coming down the stretch when things got a little bit of wobbly and that kind of thing?
That was really our focus point. Coming into the season, our preseason and everything. That's our slogan this year was unfinished business, because we felt like, you know, us not making the tournament last year, you know, our business here wasn't finished. So, you know, we had that slogan all year, and, you know, that was really the goal. The goal all year was just to make it to the NCAA tournament. And coming down the stretch, you know, we didn't really focus, like, we pressured ourselves, but, you know, Coach talked to us, and, you know, Coach tried to tell us, you know, don't worry about it and stuff like that. But, you know, I think we pressured ourselves too much about it. And I think, you know, just us being here, you know, that pressure that we brought on ourselves is gone now, and, you know, we can relax and just play.
Brother, right? Matt Velasquez, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Just with the game tipping off so late at night, you know, how does that adjust or affect the way that you guys prepare for the game, if at all?
I don't think it affects, you know, how we prepare at all. You know, each day coming into practice, you know, we're preparing for the next game, you know, and our coaching staff does a great job, you know, on getting us prepared. You know, our slogan for the games is like, you know, we play the game before the game is actually played. You know, we win the day. That's what we say. We win the day in practice, and, you know, it carries over into the games.
Guys, just defensively, Marquette's numbers don't look very good. How much confidence does that give you that you will be able to find some easy shots or get to the lane and really get to the rim and force them back?
It gives us a lot of confidence. You know, just knowing that, you know, we're going to have our opportunities, and you know, we just got to step up and make the shots. You know, we've had opportunities even come down the stretch. You know, we just didn't make shots, and, you know, like I said, I think that just came in with pressure and stuff like that. So now I feel like the pressure is going and everybody's relaxing, just trying to have fun, and that's what we're trying to get back to, is having fun and playing our game.
This is for anyone to answer. Nia Green, ESPNU Campus Connection. But Marquette is good at three-point shooting. How have you guys prepared to, you know, go up against them and defend them as a team that's noted for being a really good defensive team, and, you know, with you, Sindarius, being a really good defensive player?
Yeah, we're really good at three-point defense too. So, you know, we're gonna, you know, it starts with Dwayne guarding the ball. It starts with me and PJ denying, and our bigs, you know, doing their job too. So, you know, we're just gonna get after it and, you know, do what we do all season. You know, and that's getting after it and guarding and try to make them feel uncomfortable.
I just wanted to follow. Dwayne, you were going to respond what I asked earlier about what you use as a motivation from last year's heartbreak. What do you have to say about that?
It's similar. I think as a team, like you said, we all had the slogan unfinished business. A lot of the new guys that we had, our first year guys, weren't along the ride with us, so they didn't really understand the heartbreak that we faced. So we tried to instill that with them in practice and let them know that you guys didn't want to feel what we felt last year, just sitting around at the selection Sunday and just not being picked. We wanted to make sure we did everything in our power to make sure we didn't feel like that anymore. And we let some games slip at the end, but we still remain confident because of what we did in the non-conference schedule. And we just put everything in God's hands. And then once we were able to be selected, we just, you know, let everybody know that, you know, God was looking out, and, you know, we did what we had to do. And what's in the past is in the past, and we got to focus on the future now.
Guys, what does it feel like just to be here and, you know, see the NCAA logos of everything, and look at the court, and just, I mean, does it match your expectations in terms of what you thought like this environment would be?
Yeah. Matter of fact, just when we was walking here, Dwayne said something like, "Man, we should have been here all 4 years," or, you know. But, you know, it's fun. You know, we're just enjoying it and embracing it, and, you know, just trying to have fun.
John Del Bianco with the Big Spur. Guys, you're about to go out to the open practice session after this, some fan interaction. Are you looking forward to that, or is it more focused on practice and let's get ready for this game tomorrow?
Everybody's just gonna look at me every question, but we've had practice already. You know, we practiced earlier today, and, you know, I think today, right now, when we go out here, is, you know, just getting up shots, getting used to shooting in the arena, and interacting with the fans. I think that's what we're really just focusing on right now.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. For Sindarius and Dwayne, at some point, whether it's this weekend, next weekend, the weekend after that, it's going to be over for you guys. Have you gotten the chance to think about what you've done for this program, what you've meant for this program? Have you kind of started to think about that?
No, I haven't. I just, you know, I'm just enjoying the moment, and, you know, just trying to keep the season going as long as I can, and, you know, keep this thing going, and trying to make it as far as I can. And, you know, I can think about, you know, everything else when it's all over with.
Phil?
Guys, what has Frank said to y'all this week in preparing? He's been through this before, and what have practices been like? Has he kept the pedal to the metal and worked really hard, or has he let up a little bit?
You know, we've been practicing hard. We've been practicing hard because we've been preparing well for what's about to come. He just wants to make sure that we're all prepared. But at the same time, I think he's done a good job of letting us know that he's been there before. So he wants us to really enjoy the experience. And I think that's just a testament to, you know, the type of coach he is. And he just wants us all to just feel relaxed and loose. And, you know, we worked on watching film and, you know, worked on our defensive schemes and getting shots up and things like that. But at the same time, he's going to make sure that we all enjoy this experience and this ride because it took a lot for us to get here. And we want to make sure that we cherish it.
Time for one more question. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
How are you? That's why. Good to see you. You shoot some good pictures this week? How many years you been shooting? I was going to say it's almost as long as I've been in the league. I came in '78. I'm an impartial representative of the NCAA. I only got this job because I know how to say Krzyzewski and Wojciechowski.
Okay? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You want to make an opening comment?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, we now have South Carolina coach Frank Martin. He'll make an opening comment, and then we'll take questions.
Unbelievable, exciting week for us for obvious reasons, and I'm so happy for our players, for our alums, for our former players, for the administration that believed in me and gave me a chance, and here we are, and it's been 5 years worth of work by everybody involved to make this a reality, and now we're excited for the opportunity.
David Cloninger with the State. Frank, have you sensed a more loose atmosphere around the kids as they've gotten ready for this week? A more, I guess, fancy-free kind of thing, no pressure on them?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if I'm the kind of person that enjoys work in that kind of freelance mode, just like everybody have a good time and hug and kiss and high-five each other. I just think when there's a time for that and a time to work. But the pressure part, I think there's no doubt. I think there's absolutely zero doubt that, last year we set a school record for wins, and it wasn't good enough. Plain and simple. We can all complain, whatever. It's irrelevant. It wasn't good enough. And I think as we're coming down the stretch, we played some real hard games against postseason teams and road games. And I think our guys kind of felt that a little bit. And anytime you bog yourself down a little bit, you don't perform as well. So from that standpoint, there's no doubt. I think our guys are in an unbelievable place right now mentally. They've been great this week.
Scott?
Coach Scott Kiefer with the Greenville News. The last time you faced Andrew Rousey, albeit at UNCA a few years back, he had 30 points in that game.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you've impressed upon your players that they may want to guard him a little more closely this time?
Yeah, we weren't as bad as it makes it sound. He's just a real good player. We guarded him pretty good that day. He knows how to play. It's hard. It's hard to defend real good players. It's not as easy as it sounds. And we also weren't. My guys, just like him, were young. They were like Sindarius, Dwayne. They're in the same class he is, so they were all young. So defensively, we weren't as good as we needed to be yet at that time. We're much better defensively, but you know what? He's playing his tail off right now. I watched some of their games early this year, and he's playing at a completely different place right now. I mean, he's got that confidence going. He's aggressive. He's got that unbelievable knack to get to the foul line with his shot fakes. And if you're late on any coverage, that ball's in the net. And he's a real good player. Yeah, I didn't have to say a word to our players. Our guys, they remember.
Kyle Heck, Spurs and Feathers. You've been in the NCAA tournament before. Obviously, none of the players have. What's the main thing you've stressed to them about what they need to do and what differences there may be when you get here?
I showed them a picture of me on March 27th, 2012, which is right after I coached my last NCAA game, and I showed them a picture of me last Sunday. And I told them, if you take 5 years between appearances, this is how you look. And I've tried to share what I know, what I've lived, what our players that I've coached that have been in it, what they shared with me. I've tried to share that with them, with the understanding that they've earned the right to be here. That this wasn't like, let's just kind of draw names out of a hat and, oh my God, we're in this thing. Do we belong? No, we've earned the right to be here. And enjoy the moment, enjoy the ride. It can last a long time or it can be over quick. You don't control that, so don't worry about those things. Just enjoy the ride and just do everything in your power to play the best game that we've played all year. That's it. And at the end of the day, you've earned something special. They earned the right to be part of this exclusive club for this year. And that's something that they should be proud of and at the same time feel a lot of confidence in.
Pete Yacovelli, Associated Press. Frank, you had been to a number of NCAA tournaments. Does this experience, because of the 5 years in between, mean any more to you than the others?
They're all special, Pete. They're all different. anytime you're in this event, I told my wife this morning, I said, I feel like a little kid. It's anytime you're part of this event, you can be here. You'd have to ask, Kay and Roy and some of those guys have been in it like forever, that if it, what it feels to them. But I can tell you, for me, it's incredible. It's every second that you're a part of this, it's an unbelievable feel, a joy. You realize how lucky you are that you're around so many special people that allow you to be a part of this, and it's a special deal. They're all different. Every team's different. Every year's different. The one thing that was satisfying at K-State the first time we went, and has been satisfying here, is that both schools had not been to it in a long time, and be able to be a part of the team that kind of returns. Makes it fun personally. One day I'll sit back and I'll say, it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good that you can take two different programs that hadn't been a part of it for a long time, and you were a part of the team that went back.
Heath Klein, 107.5 The Game. Coach, when you were at K-State, and I know you said they're all different, but you won your first game the 4 times you got there, most of which were seedings around this. Is there anything in common from how you won those kind of games you can apply to how you approach this one?
Yeah, the first year as a head coach, I didn't know what I was doing. I got no idea. I know we practiced real hard, and we were the 11th seed, and we played USC. And I had 2 guys on my team, that Bill Walker and Mike Beasley, and those 2 guys were just unbelievable that game. And that's why they're both pros. And we figured out a way to win, and the game ended, and I had no idea we'd won. It was just crazy. But all the other guys that were on the team were freshmen that year. Then we missed it a year. And then the following 3 years we went. And every time we went, we had returning players that got a taste of it. And then that drives you, because you understand what a special feeling it is to be a part of this. And it drives your guys to do things better, to be more aggressive, to be better decision makers so they don't make mistakes off the court. To be more on edge for off-season workouts, because they understand how hard it is to get here. Like Sindarius and Dwayne, the reason we got here this year, those 2 guys, Justin, PJ, Chris Silva, the disappointment of last year drove those guys. They didn't make excuses. They didn't blame. It drove them all off-season to prepare for this year. And that's why we're here this year. And now once you're in it, all the other guys are first-year guys. They don't know what's going on right now. But being a part of this, it's going to give them a taste. How does all that help us figure out a way to win tomorrow? I got no idea. We got to trust in who we are. That's all I've talked to our team about. It's been 6 months in the making of getting ready to become the team that we are. You got to trust in that, and you got to go play through that personality and that identity. And at the end of the day, it's either going to be good enough or it's not. That doesn't make us a good or a bad team. It just means that tomorrow night, at whatever time at night, heck, I used to be taking showers to go out of South Beach. Now I got to worry about coach a game at 10 o'clock at night. It's I can't stay away. I hope I don't nod off on the bench. But it's we got to be the best team that we can be tomorrow night.
Frank, since Asani joined the starting lineup, what does he give you on defense and really at the start of that game in those first 4 minutes?
Yeah, he just I thought he had been practicing real well, and in Mike, I kind of saw what I saw in PJ last year, just a first-year guy that was trying to take a deep breath and couldn't figure out when he can take that breath. And Sonny had practiced well, and he gives us another decision maker with the basketball. I thought our passing had gotten bad, and Sonny's one of our better passers. Defensively, we were getting ready to play a bunch of teams that play small, for lack of better words. So I thought, why not? If I'm going to try something to shake this up a little bit, why not now? And he did his part. He did his part. And Mike, I think Mike's playing a lot better again. I think that decision helped Mike kind of step back and take a deep breath and recompose himself a little bit.
With Matt Velasquez from Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I know you said in the past that you have a friendship with Steve Wojciechowski. I just wanted to understand where that friendship came from, where it started, and how it's grown over time.
Well, first of all, I'm a fan of basketball, and watching him play was awesome. I wasn't very good, but when I tried to play, that's how I tried to play. And so from afar, I always respected him. And then the first day he got put on the road as an assistant by Coach K, him, Hugs, and I were at the same event, and Andy Kennedy, all four of us, recruiting. And we spent the whole day together. And just conversations, and it was first day on the road. And we kind of hit it off. And over the years, we've shared scouting reports with one another. We've shared ideas. When he got hired at Marquette, we spent some time talking about my first year at K-State and some of the challenges and some of the things that I experienced. And then, he had to hire a trainer. And that's probably when we spent the most time as far as personally speaking about things. And he hired Brandon Yoder, who's a dear friend, an unbelievable trainer. And I think who Brandon has been for Wojo and their program has created unbelievable trust towards me and us. And I got a lot of respect for Woj. He's a star in this business. He's great. He's great for kids. He's watching his team play. It's a machine. They're playing. Everyone wants to talk about defensively. They're so good offensively. And then what's used against people is how many points they give up per game. That's because they score a lot of points. And to score a lot of points, you got to play very fast. So they're pretty good on defense. They fight you. If you remember Woj, he's not going to accept playing people that don't fight their tails off to get on the court. And they're good. They're good. They're fun to watch. I'm not enjoying watching them on tape right now, but and it's not going to be any fun guarding them. But I'm excited for him. Excited for what he's building.
Kent Bath from the Washington Post. As far as the 44 years since an NCAA tournament win for this program, what's your coaching philosophy on that? Is it something you avoid because of extra pressure, or is it something you address because of extra motivation, or something in between?
I don't know if that impacts us one way or the other, I'll be honest with you. First couple of years of South Carolina, I didn't even know that because, let's be honest, nobody really cared about what we were doing, so no one really spoke about it. But last year, once we started earning respect and it kind of became popular, and this year, I'm not trying to sell our program here, I'm just telling you the truth, we're 13th in the country in total attendance. That means a lot of people are coming to watch our kids play. And with our guys being able to succeed again this year and get this bid, a lot of that starting to come up. I don't know if that impacts our guys one way or the other. I really don't. I can tell you personally, nothing would make me happier for us to eventually break that. I think it's one, you go back and you think of some of the guys that have played at South Carolina, the incredible coaches that have coached at South Carolina over those 44 years. I think it's a remarkable, it's one of those stats that you're like, how's that happen? How's Frank McGuire not win an NCAA game since 1973? How did Eddie Fogler, Dave Odom, keep going? The names of the coaches and players that came through there, how's that happened? And I'd love the opportunity to be able, not for me selfishly, that doesn't do anything for me, but for all those former guys and our administrators and former coaches that sacrificed it, because this is hard. Getting here is hard. Winning here is even harder. To be able to accomplish that, I think would soothe a lot of people, would make a lot of people smile. And at the end of the day, that's what our job in life is to make others smile.
Phil?
Phil Kornblut, South Carolina Radio Network. Going back to Marquette's offense, in your preparation, how have you addressed dealing with their three-point shooting, and how do you feel about your three-point shooting defense at this stage of the season?
Yeah, am I in a better mood today, Phil? Last Sunday, you were worried about my mood.
Yeah, you seem a tad bit happier.
I am. I'm a bundle of joy, Phil. they're as good a passing and shooting team as we've played against. And anytime usually good shooting teams are very good passing teams. Usually teams that don't shoot well aren't very good passers. Their spacing is very good. They play fast. They're aggressive. Their ball screen offense is what they use to create separation from their shooters. They try and put you in situations where if your ball screen defense is not perfect, then you're forced to help. And when you help against a real good passing team, then usually means someone's getting shots. And they've got a lot of guys that can shoot it. One thing I know about our team, even when we didn't play great, and I go back, I don't think we played bad. We just didn't play as great as we did, I don't know, through early February. We had to go play some hard teams. I thought our three-point defense was still pretty good. It's got to be the best it's been all year tomorrow. It's our ball screen defense has to be tremendous, and then our perimeter defense has to be the best it's been all year. We got to. Here's something else they're great at: shot faking. They're unbelievable at shot faking and getting you up in the air and creating fouls that way. You got to keep them off the line. They don't miss free throws. So we have to be very disciplined defensively, but we've been that all year. So we just got to be real good at it tomorrow.
Coach, what's the main message you want to leave with your guys right before you step out on that court tomorrow night?
Yeah, just I've been kind of preaching to them all week about this. You go through decisions and benchings and disciplines and hugs and tears and all kinds of emotions that the season brings to you. So it hardens you. So it makes you understand how important it is that you play 40 minutes. Go out there and do it. Go out there and forget all the good and bad that's happened up to this point. Trust in who you are. Do your job with an unbelievable commitment to it, and play as close to in this tournament, you can play for 39 minutes and 52 seconds and get beat for those 8 seconds you didn't play well. You have to do your job best you can. And at the end of the day, enjoy the ride. It's a special, special thing, and it's something that they get to talk to their parents and their family and their children one day about the ride that they've taken me and everyone else in South Carolina on.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Troy student athletes are here. Who's the fourth player? Jerry Holloman. Jeremy. All right, we have our student athletes from Troy, Wesley Person, Jordan Bernardo, Devon Walker, Jeremy Holloman. Floor is open for questions.
Alex Dodd Show right here in Greenville. Question for each of you. Guys, what does it mean to be able to make the NCAA tournament, and also what challenge is there in playing a good ACC champion team at Duke?
Wesley, why don't we start with you?
It's just an unreal feeling to be here in Greenville, playing and having a chance to play in a NCAA tournament. It's been our dream, and our goal for the whole season, and just to finally make it here, it's been a good ride. And I know we have a tough matchup, ahead of us tomorrow, but we've prepared for the game, just like any other, and our team is confident and we'll be, prepared and ready for tomorrow.
Like Wesley said, it's just an unreal experience to be here right now. We thank God for the opportunity to be here. And like he was saying, we've been preparing for the game for tomorrow, so it's going to be a really great show tomorrow.
Yeah, piggybacking off of what these guys said, man, it's just a blessing to be here. As they said as well, that we've prepared and we're going to bring it tomorrow.
I honestly feel, it's a blessing to be here. And as far as the opponent, it doesn't matter who we play, we'll be ready.
WTVY News 4 Dothan. Just question for all of you, kind of maybe Wes first. When do you hope the wow factor of being here kind of wears off?
Or I guess when we step out there tomorrow for warm-ups and they finally took the ball off and, we play a couple possessions, the wow factor be gone and it just feel like a normal game and we just got to be ready to play our game.
Like Wesley said, when the ball tip off tomorrow, we're gonna be ready and focused for the game that comes around.
For me, I hope it wears off when we get on the bus, heading over here, man. I hope that we approach it just like any other game, which I know is kind of impossible, but that's my hope.
Well, I'm still in wow. I'm gonna remember this forever.
Brad?
Brad Sinkoff-Anderson, Independent Mail. Devon, you've been on this stage before. You've been to a Final Four. What can you do to kind of help these guys understand what they're going to experience tomorrow?
All right, just all week, really, and in practice, just telling these guys not to let the experience take over the game. We still have a game to play. There's still a lot of things that's surrounding us, a lot of, as you said, the wow factor is just a lot that's going on, so we don't want to let those things overshadow what we came here to do, and that's to play basketball.
Just follow up. And your experience to get here, what's it been like going from Florida now to Troy?
Man, it's been crazy. It's been crazy, man. I couldn't have wrote a better story. It's all a blessing to be around these guys. I've been on some great teams at Florida, played under Coach D, did a lot of great things, but this right here is in the top with it. I like I said, I just can't imagine, coming to Troy and being able to have this opportunity.
Any other questions?
Wes, I asked you about Brantley a couple times already, but just what does it feel like now being here, kid from Brantley, small town, 1A basketball, now you're here trying to play on the big stage?
Well, it feels a whole lot different, coming from here to Brantley, being a population of about 500 people, and then to come here in somewhat of a, big city and just to see, all the hype around the March Madness and just to finally be here and, soak up all, the feeling of, having the chance to play in the tournament and playing against Duke tomorrow.
Jordan, your brother's playing in the NBA. What advice has he given you about this moment?
Just take it all in. Just be focused, be prepared, lock in mentally, and just try to get your legs and body back in right shape and right form.
Any other questions? One in the front.
Well, Wesley, I want to ask you just how many threes you think you'll score tomorrow, and just really what's the challenge of going up against a Duke defense that allows under 30%, from that area?
Well, I'm not really worried about how many threes I'll make tomorrow, but just continue to play within the offense. My teammates, we all do a good job of finding each other when we're open. So, I know we'll get looks, that we've been getting all season.
Any other questions? Gentlemen, thank you very much. make a little opening statement. The other guys have been saying something opening. So.
Well, we're obviously very excited to be here. It's been a whirlwind since we won the game on Sunday and made the tournament and got home late Sunday night. So, but it's been a great experience to this point, and very good problem to have. Everything we've got going on. So, just really excited to be here and looking forward to getting down to business and playing some tomorrow night.
Phil, Nicole Auerbach, USA Today. I'm wondering, this week your program's in a spotlight that it's not always in the rest of the year. Is there anything that you guys are going to do or ways you're going to use it, maybe just recruiting, exposure, anything this week, just because it's here and you have it?
Well, Nicole, the thing about the day and age we live in now, it's all instant news, and we've got a tremendous media staff, and they're pumping information out like crazy. So the thing about in terms of recruiting, I think it's probably helping now, but it'll really help us down the line some. And when we had time to go back and reflect and use it to our advantage. But social media right now, everything's instant. So our stuff's out there everywhere.
Coach, right here, Noah Mandel, WTVY. Wes Person had a phenomenal tournament out in New Orleans. How do you hope his, momentum carries over to here?
No, he's been a guy who's been consistent throughout his career, but he really stepped it up down in New Orleans and is on a roll. And he's a confident young man, has been since the day he walked in. He didn't show the fear of a freshman from the start. He started every game except for one in his career. He was late for a shoot around or something one day, overslept. But outside that, he's been on the floor from day one. Has never showed 1 ounce of fear, and I don't think he will tomorrow night. He'll be ready to go, and they'll be zeroed in on him like all defenses we play against are. So, but we certainly use him the way he's shooting the ball, the way he's playing right now. We could use that to our advantage if he can stay hot like that.
Brad Sankoff, Anderson, Independent Mail. Phil, being on this big stage, what's it like having a guy like Devon Walker who's been here before, been to a Final Four? What kind of influence does he have on this team?
Brett, the thing that stands out to me that Devon has helped us with this week is just a calming presence. When I look at him and his reaction, starting last week in New Orleans as we kept advancing through the tournament, he never wavered from an emotional standpoint. He was the same guy day after day, not too high, not too low, and that's carried over from Sunday on. He just hadn't shown a lot of emotion either way. He's been right down the middle of the road, which is what we try to preach every day anyway. But I think if I'm a guy on our team right now and I look at him and I know what he's been through as a player, the locker rooms he's been in, the way he's been on teams that have advanced to the extent that they did at Florida while he was there, and I'm on our team and I look at him and I see that he's not really affected. I think it's really been a calming presence for the rest of our team because he's been the leader of our team. Even though he was a grad transfer, we challenged him to be the leader of our team, and he's done that. And to answer your question again, I keep going back to he's been a calming presence for our guys.
Coach, you've played on now two extremes, one in Dothan where the lights basically don't work in the arena, and now you're here at the NCAA tournament. Where's your team come from the moment it started to finishing middle of the pack of the Sun Belt and now kind of getting hot when the time's right?
Well, it's been a year filled with a lot of ups and downs, but from the start, we thought this team had a chance to be really good. I mean, I keep saying, I look back on the trip we made out west when we played at USC when they were undefeated and ranked in the top 25, and we played them down to the end, took a three-point lead with a minute to go and felt like we had a chance to win. So we knew we had the ingredients to be really good. I don't think what's happened here in the last week is I don't think it's been something many people thought would happen, but we've been pretty good. I mean, you look at we've beaten the best teams in our league. UT Arlington, you saw what they did last night against BYU. So our league's been really good this year, and we've beaten most of the better teams. So and just to win our league shows you that we have what it takes to be here. So, but it's been a climb. But in the last month or so, we've been playing at the highest level we have all year. It's all sort of come together at the right time.
Alex Dodd from the Alex Dodd Show right here in Greenville. Obviously, you're playing a very good Duke team tomorrow in that game. But does it help you to kind of fly under the radar? Does that give you a little bit of an advantage for your guys being disrespected in that way?
Probably so. I don't know that disrespected. I don't think that they feel like they've been disrespected. It's been such a whirlwind since we made the tournament and just the preparation. I think the thing that stands out to our team is I think they're so excited about being here, but not only just excited about being a part of the tournament, but I think as a competitor, they're excited about playing the game. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. All this hype and everything that goes with it, that's a great part of the process. But ultimately, they're excited about walking out there on the court and playing with a brand name like Duke.
Any other questions? Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Guy at the Clemson house. They're actually tearing down the Clemson house, so I gotta have to find a new barber, I guess. Somewhere, I suppose. Marquette student athletes are on their way. We'll be here shortly. No. Oh, yeah. No. No. My house is in Seneca. It's too far away. Yeah. That would be good. That would be good. Well, we didn't have a lot of people flock here for. It's going to take some, probably. Although, well, there's some talk about putting it back where the rowing facility is. You know, you don't need a lot of room for softball. That's the biggest stadium. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? He's got some.
All right, our final student-athlete press conference of the day is Marquette. Representing Marquette is Luke Fisher, Marcus Howard, and Caden Reinhardt. Floor is open for question.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Caden, what is it? You show up on a team and they get to the NCAA tournament? Is that the way it works for you guys?
No, man. It's a blessing, for me to be a part of, the 3 teams that have been in the NCAA tournament. I've just been fortunate to be on, teams that are good enough to make it in March.
I've obviously never been to one of your practices, but I wonder if one of you could kind of give me an idea of the intensity level of your practices.
They're pretty intense. Coach wants the best from us. He comes from a great pedigree of coaching before him. So he expects a lot from us. They're intense, a lot of up and down, a lot of contact. But in the end, it gets the job done.
This question is for Marcus. Alex Dodd Show, Greenville, South Carolina. When you go to the NCAA tournament, you expect to play at more of a neutral venue, but playing South Carolina in Greenville, it seems like it's going to be more of a home atmosphere for South Carolina. So how do you guys wrap that around your heads?
We're going to try and treat it just as any road game in the Big East. But us as a team, we're just fortunate enough and happy to be in the position we are, and we're excited to play. So we're ready and excited for the challenge.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Game being billed as one of the top 3-point shooting teams against one of the top defensive teams against the 3. What have you seen that makes South Carolina's defense good?
We've seen in film of South Carolina. I mean, they're a great team, and we've seen that they like to pressure the ball and then pressure off the ball as well. So just pinpointing that in preparation for us has been a key part of what we've been doing to practice and prepare for South Carolina.
Any other questions? Ron?
Marcus, I guess Luke mentioned about the pedigree, Steve's pedigree. Does he ever talk about this is the way they do things at Duke, or did things when he was at Duke, or?
No, I mean, Coach is he's part of the Marquette family now. So I mean, he keeps things pretty pretty focused on that perspective. But I mean, we all know his pedigree, we all know his background. So I mean, just his knowledge of the game, we all try and pinpoint different aspects of where he's been, and try and learn from him in every aspect possible.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Given, Marcus, what you said about Coach Woodrow's pedigree, do you know what it might mean if you guys were able to advance and he gets to coach against his mentor and Coach K?
I mean, well, all we're really focused on right now is South Carolina. I mean, that's our first and foremost number one concern. So we're just going to take it a game at a time and just focus on that at the moment right now.
Any other questions? Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, not at all. But I am. Who did they last beat? What game was it? Was it the 74 tournament or 73? 73. Let's see. They beat Southwest Louisiana in a consolation in 73. Yeah. 74, they lost to Furman. Yeah. Well, they've only played 5 NCAA games since '74. Coach McGuire beat. Yeah, one of their losses was to Richard Digger Phelps in 1971 as the head coach at Fordham in a game in Raleigh. Good. Yep. Had a lot of fun with football. Had a lot of fun with football. Yeah, sure did. So. Hectic but good. Man, Tom Riker scored 39 points in that game against Fordham, but they still lost. $18 field goals. It's interesting. They haven't played a lot of NCAA tournament games, but it will be a heck of an effort to break Tom Riker's record for points in an NCAA tournament game by a South Carolina player. Yes, and you know the first time a 15 lost to a 2? It was Richmond beat Syracuse in 1991. And I was the post-game interview moderator for that game. So I had Coach Boeheim, after losing as a number 2 seed. Oh, boy. Or are you confusing it with something with North Carolina? I don't remember. I don't remember us having. I don't remember when your old locker room used to go. We used to be able to go in those old locker rooms. Yeah. Was it after a game we must have beaten them? I think so. They could have been too many. Well, actually, you know, when Wojo played, the last time we won at Durham, it's interesting that Coach K was the coach, Collins was a guard, and Wojo was a guard. They're all in the NCAA tournament. That's when Rick Barnes' first. Was Mike Gray on the bench? Yes. That was his last year before he went to Delaware. Yeah. We won 75-70. We shot 10 of 15 on threes. Okay. Coach, how you doing? Good, thanks. How are you? Nice to see you. Great to see you.
Anywhere?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Tag up there. Okay, we now have Coach Steve Wojciechowski, and have an opening comment from you, Coach, and then we'll take some questions.
Yeah, you know, we're incredibly excited to be here. I'm so happy for my players, my staff, the entire Marquette community. You know, it's an honor and a privilege to play in the NCAA tournament. I think our guys are very excited about earning the right to be here, and we're looking forward to tomorrow night's game versus South Carolina.
Ron?
Steve, Mike mentioned that he thought you've done a really good job at Marquette of taking the players you have and molding your style of play around that. Is that by design, and is ultimately you want to get it back to being more of the way you played at Duke and coached at Duke?
Yeah, I assume by Mike you meant coach. I'm not used to referring to him like that. But no, I think one of the things Coach has always talked about to all of his the guys who have worked for him is figuring out how to put your team in the best position to win. And with the way we've played this year, I think it gives our team the best opportunity to win. You know, I think obviously I learned a lot from Coach in my time at Duke, but I think everybody's got to be, you know, their own person and make their own decisions. So hopefully the decisions that my staff and I have made for this team have been good ones.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Steve, is this, you've obviously been to a lot of NCAA tournaments. Is this any different because of you being a head coach and taking this team here?
Well, they're all special, but I don't think any of them are more special than this. Like I said in the opening statement, the thing I'm most excited about is that our players get to experience this. We have a number of guys on our roster, all but one, who have never been a part of the NCAA tournament, and I think the NCAA tournament's the greatest sporting event there is. And so for our guys to experience this, and for me to get to go along on that ride with them is something that I'll always cherish.
Pretty much the same subject, but are there things that you took from the Duke program that you want to put the same stamp on your program, not necessarily in style of play, but in just the overall program?
Well, the type of experience players have, you know, the pursuit of excellence, both on and off the court, the relationships, the type of experience the players have, not only as a player at Marquette, but as a student athlete at the university. Those are all things that, you know, I want the guys at our place here at Marquette to feel.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Steve, what have you seen out of South Carolina so far this week on film?
Well, it's really been fun for me to study South Carolina. Obviously, I have utmost respect for Frank Martin, and in learning more about them, they play exactly like a Frank Martin team, what you would expect them to play. They play incredibly hard. I think they're as good a defensive team as we've played against all year. When you watch them play, not many people play defense like them anymore. There's been a trend in college basketball to go into more prevent defenses, pack line defenses, and to watch them play, get out in passing lanes, contest every pass, really be aggressive in that respect. As a coach, it's fun to watch, but as a coach, it's not fun at the same time when you have to play against them. And so, we know we have our hands full against an outstanding team in their backyard, really.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. Coach, you talked about having players that have not been to the tournament. How do you keep them loose, having to play the late night game tomorrow night? They're going to be anxious to play, but how will you keep them focused?
Well, I think it's, in some respects, it's an advantage, to be able, although we've been very busy today with our preparation, time, whether we're at meals or whatever, you get to see the games going on. You really start to feel part of the tournament. And, for our team, we have to shoot our bullets. We need to go into the game not holding anything back. If people would have asked you, 7 months ago if you thought our team would have been in this position, most quote-unquote experts would have said no. And so our guys have played at their best when they've been loose and free and determined, and that's how we want to go into the game tomorrow night.
Other questions, Ron?
How often do you and Coach K communicate during the season or during the off season? And is it all basketball talk, or is it beyond that?
We communicate quite a lot. Obviously that during the season it's harder to get somebody on the phone. I mean, we have a lot of responsibilities with our own team, but obviously we communicate quite a bit in season, and we talk out of season as well. I mean, he's one of the people I'm closest to in my life, and so that's the type of relationship we have. I appreciate everything that he's done for me as a player, as an assistant coach, and now being somebody I can lean on as a head coach.
Any other questions? Coach, thanks very much.
Thank you.